intense 2 weeks, but fantastic 2 weeks, to be honest. I mean, the group dynamic grows with every day, and you really get a chance to actually use what you practiced or what you learned the past months. It's a challenge, but it's a good challenge, because really you feel like you achieved something. After every day you come home and like, you feel smashed, you feel sore, very sore, but it's an achievement. It's just great. It's just, it feels good. Definitely feels good. Isabella. I originally from Germany, but since 7 years I already live in Malta. My background was tourism, and currently I'm in the iGaming industry, actually, as a casino marketing manager. This is actually what I had on my list like for a long time. Like about 3 years ago, I did actually a fitness instructor qualification in Germany. Definitely not the best I did in my life. So the plan was to actually step up to a PT straight away, and when I found out about FD, I actually decided to do the full course again. It was definitely a good decision. So I was really happy that I found something what I can do in Malta, so I don't have to go abroad for that. I had the chance to actually do home studying, so on my own time I like to learn stuff on my own and get the time to read. And I had good chance at the end actually to read, to listen. I had my tutor actually to ask questions. So the whole concept actually, I really appreciated that, and then really planning like coming here for 2 weeks. So I can really plan time off and just focus on that. So I like the whole concept. And actually I approached Toby via email, and I really liked the way he spoke to me about that. And yeah, that definitely convinced me to say, when I signed up, actually I was total enthusiast and like, I will do it. And then obviously when I got the whole the material to actually look into it, I was like, wow, that's a lot. And that was actually just the first half, was just the level 2 actually material. So I was like, I hope I judged it correctly. I hope I can do it, because obviously I have quite a challenging job as well, which can be mentally demanding. So I feel quite tired after a week. So I was like, I hope I just can do it. I mean, I started in December, so I had almost 6 months. It felt short for me, but in comparison what actually FD says, what you actually need for it, I had really a long time to do it. And for me, it was actually perfect like that. So I really could, when I had like my weeks, I could say, okay, this week I keep it down, and then next week I go fully back on it. So I really had a time to do that. So, but that was my doubts, like, is it too much? Is it maybe too much? I really have to commit myself. I'm really a person, like, I enjoy reading, but also I'm a writing person as well. So actually everything what I read, I wrote down as well with check cards and another notebook. I think I had like 20 notebooks, I don't know. The video actually was for me always like a summary then afterwards. So I actually read everything through, and then I watched the video, hearing it. Even for me, since I'm a foreigner, the pronunciation for certain words, that helped me a lot as well. So I like the combination a lot. When I actually started with the first lab, I got very quick feedback. Actually, I was surprised how fast that was. Like, I sent it back, and like, let's say 2 hours later, I got my feedback already. And I was really surprised, so I really could move on really quick. And when the feedback came, I got to know what I did wrong, and a little bit of help how to solve it, but not too much. So I actually had to think. But it was really fantastic. And when I wrote my first program, I got the chance also to just send something over to get the feedback, just to make sure that I really understood the concept of how to plan a program. So when I had questions, I could always ask, I could reach out. So the first one was Caroline for my level 2, and for the PT I had Patrick. So I have to say, like, from both, I got really valuable feedback. No, I was really happy with that. So no, I appreciate it. It's a lot still in the 2 weeks. I was actually thinking that we're just in the gym and working out, or we're just getting like some practical training or so. But it's intense 2 weeks, but fantastic 2 weeks, to be honest. I mean, the group dynamic grows with every day, and you really get the chance to actually use what you practiced or what you learned the past months. Actually, I really like the intro day from Chris and from Mike. It was just fantastic, because they really explained anatomy to me just the basics actually once more, and one of them it clicked in my mind. And then they explained it in their own words, and we started practicing that, and it made so much sense all of a sudden, and that really helped. And also going through the course, actually 2 weeks, lots of explanation, lots of patience, very professional, like little details and technique. All of our instructors actually, they helped us to get it right. They had the patience, explained it again and again. Lots of home practice next to it, by the way, so it is a full commitment. So if you just come here and say like, okay, I've studied a little bit, I know how to work on the gym, it's not a walk in the park, it is a full commitment. But it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge, because really you feel like you achieved something. After every day you come home and like, you feel smashed, you feel sore, very sore, but it's an achievement, it's just great, it feels good, definitely feels good. The way they deliver is just, I mean, they're serious about the points to deliver, and they're also serious in making it right, but they do it in a very good amount of, they have a very good amount of humor as well. So we all have a lot of fun having jokes in between. It's just like they didn't grow like to a little family here. No, it's really a family atmosphere. You didn't feel like this is the teacher, I'm a student or so. It was like, you could just, everyone is approachable, really everyone. So I definitely lost my fear in actually instructing. Because I mean, if I'm comfortable with a person, I never had trouble with that. But like just randomly, obviously this is the future, there will be random people coming up and I have to instruct them. Actually, I think I lost my fear about that. I think I got a better focus now on how should an exercise look like, how should it be performed, and safety around it as well. I worked with so many different people in the group, and they were really different, like from heavyweight lifters to really like shy girls kind of. But this is really good, because then you get an idea, because this is the variety you have out there. Most probably there are lots of different characters you still find out there, but I think I feel really good prepared for that, working with different characters. I definitely figured out that there are a few things I still have to work on myself as well. Technique-wise as well, as you always need to improve, you always need to keep practicing. Actually, I'm super excited, to be honest. Obviously, I have a full-time day job, obviously. I have some ideas already in mind how I can do that at a parallel stage right now, obviously building up. I have some friends who already raised their finger like, when it's done, let me know. So I get the chance to practice. Yeah, but I can't wait for it actually. This is really something exciting, since I have it on my list for so long, and I think now it's there. So what I had to study beforehand, I was like, this course can't be easy. So I was just preparing myself for, I don't want to say the worst, but for the toughest actually. So I made sure I prepared myself physically for that, and I really went to the gym, know the exercises, and just can fully focus on what actually instructor going to tell me, and just take more in actually. So, but I didn't have any expectation when it comes to quality. But I have to say, I watched a lot of testimonies before, and the feedback was always positive. So I was like, it would be weird if I'm the only one who tells you not good. No, definitely. I had no expectation, but I can say it was a fantastic experience. It was just awesome. I have no words for that. It's really good. It felt so long, and now it's kind of over. And now it's actually like I'm going to be very lost from Saturday onwards, when I have nothing to study anymore. When I see what I spent on my previous qualification, and I wasn't really able to use it. When I see what I learned here, I apply it actually on my own training. Actually, that's what I did the past months already, just applying what I've learned. That helped me to improve my own training. I helped applying like closer friends who are around me. I can help them already with some advice how to do things. Just I have something to use now, and that nobody can take it from me anymore. So, and I think this investment was something for life. I won't forget it anymore.